Welcome back. You're watching NewsX. I'm Uday Pratap Singh. Our big focus this hour. Former Pakistan Prime Minister Nawaz Sharif has visited Pakistan-administered Gilgit-Baltistan as the region witnesses protests ahead of the upcoming elections. During the visit, he's raised concerns over infrastructure and development, highlighting poor road conditions and governance issues. Listen in.
जब मैं आया हूं तो जो मैंने हुलिया देखा है यहाँ पे एयरपोर्ट से निकलने के बाद सड़कों का मैं बयान नहीं कर सकता। मुझे बहुत तकलीफ हुई, बहुत दुख हुआ है कि जिस गिलगित को मैं जानता था वो गिलगित कहाँ है, और जिसको मैं बहुत डेवलप करना चाह रहा था, जिस गिलगित बल्तिस्तान को मैं सीने से लगा के रखता था और मैं चाहता था कि यहाँ बेतहाशा तरक्की हो, यहाँ के लोग रोजगार पे फायज हों, उसकी सड़कों को देखकर आज मुझे बहुत तकलीफ हुई। इतने खड्डे हैं, पूछे इनसे रास्ते में, मैंने 3-4 मरतबा इनको कहा है, मैंने कहा ये सड़क तो यार बहुत दुख।
Pakistan Army Chief Asim Munir is once again facing allegations of political engineering, this time in the strategically sensitive region of Gilgit-Baltistan. Opposition voices and political observers have accused the military establishment of attempting to influence the electoral process and shape the outcome of the upcoming polls. The controversy has deepened amidst reports that candidates linked to political fronts associated with the terror group Lashkar-e-Taiba have been allowed greater political space, raising concerns over the mainstreaming of extremist networks in Pak's electoral landscape. Critics allege that while opposition forces face pressure and restrictions on campaigning, groups seen as aligned with the establishment are being encouraged. The allegations have renewed scrutiny of the Pakistan Army's role in politics. Moreover, remember that in 2020, the region had also seen massive and violent unrest against Imran Khan's PTI, which was accused of rigging the elections. The big question now, therefore, is whether Gilgit-Baltistan's elections will be free, fair and independent, and when will Pakistan stop platforming terror. Senge Sering, Gilgit-Baltistan activist, is joining us live in the broadcast. Mr. Sering, thank you for speaking with us on NewsX.
Yeah.
How free and fair really are these elections going to be?
Well, elections have never been free in the history of Pakistan. If you look at the situation right now, Pakistani political leaders, they are in Gilgit-Baltistan. They are violating the code of conduct. They are announcing huge investments and infrastructure projects. This should not be happening while the voting day is only like 4 or 5 days away. In contrast to that, if you look at, for instance, the political leaders that belong to the party of Imran Khan, they do not have the equal playing field. They do not have the right to approach and access the constituencies the way you see Pakistan Muslim League or People's Party have. Pakistani Army has a huge role in manipulating the elections in Gilgit-Baltistan. And no one can join the process without the approval of the Pakistani military. A lot of political activists who do not desire Gilgit-Baltistan to remain with Pakistan have been kept out of the process. We have our leadership belonging to the Awami Action Committee, which are in jail right now. And if they were allowed to join the community and campaign, I think the situation would be very different in few constituencies. For instance, let's say in Hunza or in Skardo or in other parts like in Ghizar. Our leader from Balochistan National Party, Mr. Naji, has complained about the inadequacies in the electoral and voter list. So I think there are a lot of things that are happening that shows a manipulation by the Pakistani military, and they want the same setup that they have created for Pakistan Muslim League and Pakistan People's Party in Pakistan to be replicated in Gilgit-Baltistan. They expect that to work. So let's see what happens.
Yes, also, this mainstreaming of extremist elements that have connections with the Lashkar-e-Taiba, mainstreaming them in Pakistani politics. What does that also tell us about what's happening there currently?
Well, we expected that after Operation Sindoor, there would be some kind of retrospection. There would be some kind of inward looking. There would be some kind of change in policy in Pakistan. But we have seen that, they have doubled down on reintroducing extremism, militancy, and terrorism in POJK, and Lashkar-e-Taiba and Jaish-e-Mohammed have been given space, as well as financial and diplomatic and political support in different parts of POJK. And that shows that the policy of Pakistan as vis-a-vis Jammu and Kashmir is not going to change. And that means the local people, especially the minorities in Gilgit-Baltistan and POJK, will continue to suffer. And all the money that is supposed to go towards the development of the local people will continue to go to promoting terrorism.
Okay. Also, Mr. Sering, I have to quickly ask you about the Pakistan Army's role in all of this. Of course, we know how they have been at the forefront of rigging elections, of deciding political outcomes. But what role are they playing, the Pakistani Army, under Field Marshal Asim Munir in the Gilgit-Baltistan polls?
Well, Field Marshal Asim Munir has already displayed what he wants in the rest of Pakistan, the way he has manipulated with Pakistani constitution, the way he has extended himself, his portfolio, as well as his tenure for the next, I don't know, 10 or 15 years. That shows that he has long-term goals in Pakistan and manipulation, interference in Pakistani political system. So that extends to Gilgit-Baltistan. In Gilgit-Baltistan, we expect that anyone who is loyal to the Pakistani military will be receiving far more projection, and they have a very strong chance of winning the election. There are a lot of independent analysis that has happened that shows that if Pakistani army was not interfering, then Imran Khan's political party and the nationalists would have a strong chance of winning election in several constituencies, and Pakistan's Prime Minister's party, Muslim League, would not even get 2 or 3 seats. But now we are expecting that this coalition that we have right now will receive a majority to rule for the next 5 years, which clearly shows that there's a strong interference from the Pakistani army, and that is the only reason they would be able to turn out the election in their own favor.
Also, Mr. Sering, there has been a statement by Nawaz Sharif as well on the lack of development. The former Prime Minister has commented on the lack of development and infrastructure in Gilgit-Baltistan. What do you make of that statement that is coming?
Well, isn't that a joke? Because his own brother is the Prime Minister. He has been ruling the country for the last, several years. I think, they also sent 5,000 or 6,000 police personnel from Lahore, from Punjab police to Gilgit-Baltistan. That also shows that, Ms. Maryam Nawaz, the Chief Minister of Punjab, will be able to, manipulate the election there, because her own law enforcement will be in Gilgit-Baltistan. So, yeah, I mean, Nawaz Sharif is truly true to what they have done in Gilgit-Baltistan, because all the money they receive in the name of Gilgit-Baltistan has been spent elsewhere, and his own brother has failed to deliver and show what Pakistan
Okay.
that Pakistan has been looting Gilgit-Baltistan,
Yes.
natural resources, without spending any money on it.
Okay, let's leave it at that. Senghit Sering, thank you very much for joining us with your perspective on that story. Dr. Amjad Ayub Mirza also joins us now, author and POK human rights activist. Dr. Mirza, once again the focus on Pakistan elections. This time it's the province of Gilgit-Baltistan, and once again with every elections come the discrepancies as well, which Pakistan sees every time. How are you viewing these polls and the possibility, the high possibility of rigging once again?
Well, the polls, thank you very much for having me, but the polls have already been decided what the result is going to be, who's going to be the chief minister, who's going to win the election. These are already been done and dusted. So the election has already been rigged even before the election takes place. That has been the case all the time. If you look at the history of Pakistan, whatever government is formed in the center, in POJK and in Pakistani occupied Gilgit-Baltistan, immediately political engineering takes place and they topple the government or they do an internal coup in through their legislative assemblies and they change the government so that it aligns with the government in the center. And now these elections are illegal. The they, the basic elections that were supposed to take place are the local bodies elections, which haven't taken place for decades. But then these local body elections are also manipulated. Why are the local bodies election and the so-called general election in Gilgit-Baltistan not taking place on the same day? So, and the other thing is, I think I have today issued an appeal to our Prime Minister Narendra Modi ji to raise this issue and to interfere in this rigmarole kind of election. I have issued an appeal, and through your platform again, I would appeal to the Indian Foreign Ministry, which is called Ministry of External Affairs, the Prime Minister, especially the Home Minister Amit Shah ji, that they should take note of this, what is happening in these territories which are legally part of India, and we are all Indian citizens, including myself and Mr. Sanghi as well. So we cannot just sit and just let things happen in these occupied territories, and things are going to turn really, really bad on the 9th of June. POJK has called for a general strike. The Joint Awami Action Committee has called for a general strike. On the 8th of June, a day before the general strike, it is being said that the 28th Amendment is going to be presented and whatever approved or whatever. And if that happens, then they are claiming that they are trying to incorporate Gilgit-Baltistan into Pakistan as a fifth province and break down POJK so that it can be merged with KPK province and Punjab province as districts, Tehsil. So things are really, very serious in this region. And again, I would say that unless Modi ji and the Indian government seriously picks this issue up in international forums and Indian media like yourself, unless they do not bring this up instead of discussing Cockroach Party, Cockroach
Okay.
Janata Party, this is more pressing an issue.
Yes. Okay.
Yeah, thank you.
Amar Mushtikan, let me draw you in here as well. Baluch journalist who's also joining us now live. Mr. Mushtikan, the Gilgit-Baltistan polls, how free and fair are they really going to be? The previous time it was the PTI accused of poll rigging. This time it's a new dispensation, but the same charges. Time changes in Pakistan, elections come and go, but the core, lack of transparency continues to exist and persist.
Thank you so much for inviting me. The problem mainly in Pakistan is every political dissent, every political difference is treated as a security issue. And especially with this present Chief of Defense Staff and the so-called Field Marshal, he is really paranoid. And in Gilgit-Baltistan, as we know, the majority is a Shia population, and he has got no love lost with the Shia people, this general, although he tries to use his brother-in-law, who's said to be Shia, Mohsin Naqvi, who's an interior minister, but he uses him as a foreign minister, dispatches him to Tehran for all those talks. So this is a real concern in Gilgit-Baltistan. When the Iran war began and when the Americans and Israelis killed Khamenei, so the slogans over there was not just about the Pakistan military in general. And those slogans are raised all over Pakistan, like ye jo dahshat gardi hai, iske piche vardi hai. But in this particular case, in Gilgit and Gilgit-Baltistan, they specifically mentioned Asim Munir by name. And that is why he was so livid when he met the Shia scholars. He told them, well, if you have got so much sympathy for Iran, you guys should all go to Iran, if you recall. This is what he said during the closing days of Ramadan. And this general, you see, it is correct that he is not a normal person. You know, he's got so many problems on so many different fronts. In Balochistan, as you know, we have daily enforced disappearances, which now has included women. We see our women being insulted by the Pakistani soldiers. They put pictures of our women as if, you see, under arrest by the military soldiers. And that is very heart-wrenching. That is not acceptable to our people, the way our women are being treated. And then you see this same general, he uses his air force to go and bombard Afghanistan. And it's, you see, it's ridiculous because the Taliban were willing to talk with Imran Khan. And Imran Khan offered that, give me some days and I'm going to resolve this issue with the Taliban. And the Taliban welcomed that gesture. But the Punjabi rulers of Pakistan, the jihadist Punjabi rulers, they are so arrogant and they are, you see, so much of self-deception that they didn't accept that offer. It's very sad. The state of affairs all over Pakistan, you see, almost half of the population, 45% of the population is living below the poverty line. It's a totally abnormal situation in Pakistan, and the generals, the security consciousness, the flattery with Americans, you see, their debauchery, that is, I don't know. You see, I don't see any future for Pakistan. I really wish, I second my friend Dr. Amjad Mirza's call that India should take an interest in this matter, because I believe India calls this area her own territory. So when you call it your own territory, you cannot have your hands off this. Thank you.
Okay, let me in fact quickly take that to you as well. Ambassador Bhashpati Mukherjee, now former diplomat, who also joins us live. Ambassador Mukherjee, you know, this problem of, you know, rigged elections continues, it seems, across the border in our neighborhood. The Gilgit-Baltistan polls, there are massive fears of rigging, of political management, of lack of transparency, of complete, disregard of the model code of conduct that exists currently, with the announcements that Mr. Sering was referring to earlier as well. What do you make of what's happening with these elections there in our neighborhood?
Well, Uday, in our perspective, a country of 1.4 billion people with a noisy but effective democracy, where politicians spend a lot of time abusing each other, as someone said about the cockroach Janata Party, etc. Ours is a real democracy. So, for us to sit here and watch our own people being treated in this manner, and to hear their accounts live on television, as I did right now, is very, very painful. As far as Gilgit-Baltistan is concerned, it never ever was supposed to be part of Pakistan. We all know the history of Gilgit-Baltistan and how it was betrayed and it was incorporated into Pakistan the way it happened. The people over there have never considered themselves to be part of the ruling cabal, which is the Pakistani Punjabi, who rule Pakistan. They did not succeed in Bangladesh, East Pakistan. The Pakistani Punjabi could not subdue the restless Bengalis of East Pakistan, and that's how Bangladesh happened. They can rig the election. They can do whatever they like. But to quote Khalil Gibran, who said on freedom that, you can break the strings of the lyre, but who will tell the skylark not to sing? That was his response to attempts being made to thwart democracy in his time and age, Khalil Gibran. I would say I agree with the assessment that it's been pre-cooked, etc. But still there might be surprises. Moreover, the people there are better and better organized, and any effort to do what has been stated, which is to break up POJK and merge it as districts into other districts, will have a disastrous effect on the entire internal territorial integrity of Pakistan, which is already a state rapidly disintegrating due to its own weight. They can't say that it was India that has helped them to disintegrate. They actually don't need any help. They are disintegrating on their own. And the Shia-Sunni divide is increasing by the day. And whatever the Field Marshal can say about his arms pact with Saudi Arabia, etc., let us not forget that the Saudis always wanted the Pakistani army to send only Sunni regiments into Saudi Arabia, and the Pakistanis had to refuse because till today in Pakistan their regiments are not divided between Shias and Sunnis. They are comprehensive regiments of Shias and Sunnis. That they have not been able to change. The day they try to do it will be the beginning of the end for the Pakistani army and Pakistan. This is a sword of Damocles hanging over their heads. They know they can't do it. And that is why they are not regarded as reliable allies either by the Saudis, who are pure Sunni, or by the Iranians, who are pure Shias. They are not regarded. What President Trump can say what he likes. He is himself, I don't want to describe him more than I've already described him on your channel, but he's a transactional man who changes his position 3 times in 24 hours. So nobody can take such a person seriously. But whatever he says about this so-called Field Marshal, this so-called Field Marshal is clearly very insecure over there because his entire family is in the United States. Why are they in the United States when he is Field Marshal in Pakistan? They should be enjoying the goodies that Pakistan can give them when he's Field Marshal. He's not taking any chances. He knows that at any point of time, he could lose his throne and lose his head. He knows that. These kind of posts are not permanent at all. And when you try to subvert the democratic process and push autocracy down the throats of people who have for centuries believed in freedom and liberty. I remember my father telling me, because he had served in Balochistan before partition. He said, these are fiercely independent people. These are people known in history, like the Afghans, to oppose any foreign intervention. So it's not possible to do what they are doing. So we have to wait and see. Even if they come up with some cooked up results, that's not going to solve Pakistan's internal problems. And as far as India intervening is concerned, India would first wait and see and let Pakistan disintegrate of its own weight. India is there waiting. India has not been cowed down by the cheap nuclear threats made by the Field Marshal, who says at some point of time that if the Americans attack Pakistan, they will attack India. What do they think? That we are a banana republic? Has he forgotten Op Sindoor? Has he forgotten that each time Pakistan has tried to attack India, we've given them a bloody nose? He can try. I don't think he would be foolish enough to try. But if he does, Uday, we are ready and waiting. But we don't want to give the world an opportunity to say that Gilgit-Baltistan became free because of India. Gilgit-Baltistan became free because of oppression and tyranny. And that is the only reason that they will.
Now you've heard what expectations our friends across the border have from India, because India has been speaking up for the oppressed in Pakistan, and people within Balochistan, POK, Gilgit, always look for India for help more than their own masters, more than their own rulers. But in this juncture, how do you respond as someone who's of course been a diplomat and someone who's been a key part of the MEA, how do you respond to them and their expectation from India? Ambassador Mukherjee.
Well, Uday, it is not possible to disclose on national television what we must be doing from the back, right? If you want me to say, I am sure whatever can be done is being done quietly through back channels. As far as front channels are concerned, as I said, we would wait for an uprising, internal uprising. And at that point of time, we would decide whether to go in or not. That is what we did in Bangladesh when we had 10 million East Pakistanis in Kolkata, my home state.
Yes.
We waited, and Mrs. Gandhi went in at the right time. She waited, and we sent the Mukti Bahini first. The Indian army came just after the Mukti Bahini. That is to ensure and to give the world the correct impression that if it becomes free, if it breaks away, it is because of the tyranny of the Punjabi Pakistanis and their Pakistani Punjabi army. It is not because of India that they have broken away. They have broken away because they want their freedom back. They can't be slaves forever. That's why they have broken away. So I think we have to watch this very carefully. We are the land of Chanakya, Uday. Chanakya's thoughts are very relevant in this context.
Okay.
We have to wait.
Okay.
And take action when the moment is right.
We've run out of time.
As a professional diplomat.
We've run out of time. My thanks to all of our guests for joining us on this discussion. Let's slip into a very short break.